Today we had our most notable Terry McLaurin sighting, and maybe this could be what helps get a deal done sooner rather than later. Let's talk about it. I'm Josh Taylor with A to Z Sports Commanders, and today was different in Ashburn, Virginia, as Terry McLaurin was at practice like he usually is, but he was joined by Commanders general manager Adam Peters, and the two were talking off on the side field, which is something we haven't seen so far in training camp. Now, of course, Terry spoke out about the team, about how he was frustrated and the lack of communication really bothered him, and he just felt like he was a little disrespected with the contract talks. And then, of course, he held out of practice and he showed up. He requested a trade. Terry McLaurin has done everything possible in this debacle. Now, today it was different because Adam Peters was actually talking to him, and that might be signaling something. I'm not trying to read lips or diagnose what was going on between the two, but maybe this is what's going to help kickstart those talks again. And, of course, there's been rumors about what kind of number Terry McLaurin wants and the number that Washington's willing to give him, and no one really knows except for those two people. But just being out in public at the practice, in front of the team, in front of the media, and talking to each other. And the body language, it seemed healthy. That's the biggest question mark that a lot of people are wondering. Even if a deal gets done, what does that relationship look like between Terry McLaurin and the Washington Commanders front office? And like I said, if you read Terry McLaurin, he didn't seem bothered by the conversation, frustrated, anything like that. He seemed like he was pretty chill, and he was just having a casual conversation with Adam Peters, and the body language seemed healthy to me. Now, Jayden Daniels has been doing his own thing and building a connection with guys like Deebo Samuel and other wide receivers in the room, but that depth gets a little bit shaky. So even though Terry McLaurin doesn't have all this leverage when it comes to the financial situation, I think McLaurin does have the leverage, of course, when it comes to the production and what he brings on the field. Him and Jayden last year was one of the best duos in the league, and that's why they went to the NFC Championship game. Deebo Samuel's been stepping up with him off the field, and just getting that connection with other wide receivers is nice for Daniels, but nonetheless, you want Terry McLaurin out there. McLaurin actually went over to Jayden Daniels during the scrimmage, and he was in his street clothes, and Jayden was dressed out, going through plays and stuff like that. The team was going against each other. The burgundy and gold game is what they were calling it. But he was kind of just at the hip of Jayden Daniels and just talking to him. And, of course, they still have a good connection. They're talking all the time and stuff. But it's just nice to see Terry around the team during practice for the first time in a long time. So, of course, he's talking to Adam Peters, but just having him back around the team and just trying to build that family locker room back together again, it feels good. Now, the bottom line is this needs to get done sooner rather than later. We're already one preseason game in. Got 2 more preseason games to go. You got to join practice with the Ravens. There's still plenty of time to get some practice going, but week 1 is less than a month away. You start the season out week 1 at home against the New York Giants, an NFC East rival. You can't afford to have this drag on longer than it needs to. You go have a home game to kick off the season, and you drop an L to a rival. That's not the way you want to start this season. You can't have Terry McLaurin sitting on the sideline. You go 0-1, and you're kind of wondering, what do we need to do? We're off to a bad start. This is a tough schedule this year. So, look, I'm holding out hope. I still think a deal gets done sooner rather than later. I don't think Terry's going to get traded. And maybe this conversation today kind of sparked that flame to get this talks going once again so this deal can get done and Washington fans can breathe a sigh of relief.